I am reading The Four Agreements and Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm reading it for like the second time. I read it actually periodically. And I just got The Tipping Point. I like books like that, you know. Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, I always sang. I wanted to sing since I was 4 years old. And I grew up loving music, and I used to pretend that I was either in the Supremes or the Beatles. And, you know, being a performer was always my dream. It just so happened that dancing, which is also another love of mine, ended up being the vehicle to get me into the career of being a professional singer. But I always wanted to sing. Sang. I had a group in junior high. We were called Black Fuzz. There were 3 girls. It was a girl group, and we all had big afros, so hence the name Black Fuzz. The first time I was on stage dancing was with the legendary Jackie Wilson, who was close with my parents, my mother and father. And I was backstage watching him, and he saw something in me, and he told me that, you know, I'd be an entertainer. And so, you know, people think, you know, since I was dancing on Soul Train that, you know, then I became a singer, but I always wanted to sing. I started Avatone Recordings in '95 after leaving MCA Records. The biggest difference is, you know, obviously being on a major corporation, you have millions of dollars that get, you know, put into the marketing. The visibility is a lot higher. Independent artists generally struggle to get on the radio. So it's very unique for me because being a mainstream artist and seeing that side and then deciding to be independent. The thing about me, though, is that even when I was on a major label, everything that I've done has always been representative of who I am. So whether it was my first solo album with Looking for a New Love and Don't You Want Me, every song on that, you know, was handpicked. Continuing on through the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, you know, Chameleon being the 10th. So that part hasn't changed. It wasn't like I was a female singer that some guy producer said, hey, you know, I want to make you into this. That was never my deal as a solo artist. And so that part is not so much different. The biggest difference is very difficult to get on the radio. So I get a lot of people asking, you know, Jody Watley, you know, we love you. Where are you, girl? I'm like, I'm still here. You have to look for the music a little more than you used to. And but being an artist and being in the music business for so long, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that through all of the years, my music continues to grow. It's still authentic. I haven't resorted to cheap tricks, you know, doing songs that, you know, I don't like to sing live or something. Or the songs that I write and the people that I collaborate with are always people that I really respect what they do and they respect what I do. And so it's good.
So what was the inspiration to have your own label?
I was inspired by Prince to start Avatone. He'd left Warner Brothers and started MPG. He'd released The Most Beautiful Girl in the World project, and his distributor initially was Bellmark. So I did some research and read up on it, and I was thinking, yeah, you know, that's what I want to do. So my first project independently in '95 was called Affection, and my distributor at the time for Avatone was also Bellmark, and it was totally inspired by Prince. And throughout my childhood, aside from wanting to be a performer, I always had an entrepreneurial side. I was a kid in junior high school that would be selling, you know, whether it was paper mache flowers or I'd write poetry and short stories and rent them out, you know. I made pillows and I sold those. So I always have had an entrepreneurial side as well.
So a need to own. I mean, was Prince the very first person that really registered with you? Like they were really taking advantage?
Prince registered with me as an artist. I mean, I didn't have a feeling with MCA that I'd been ripped off or anything. that sort of thing I'd already gone through during my years as a member of Shalimar. But my solo career, I never felt like, they're taking advantage of me. I had a great deal with MCA, like I said, as a songwriter, owning my publishing, all those things that you learn about the business, those things I was always on point with since my solo, career began. But, I love Motown, but I also was interested in Berry Gordy. I read a lot about the Motown story and how he started it. The luxury department store, Neiman Marcus, Richard Branson with Virgin. So I'm always intrigued by that side too. And in hip hop, I think one of the good things to come out of it is so many, young black men, entrepreneurs owning their labels, whether it's Jay-Z or P. Diddy or Master P, that side of it, and not many women really take that reach. I mean, there are a few that have recently started doing things, but I embrace that.
So,
it's more work, but I don't mind work.
So is it harder for women?
I know it is, but I mean, it's harder if you're an older artist. It's harder. It just depends on how you look at it. But I'm not really a person that ever focuses on what the obstacles are. I'm just a person that, what do I need to do to get this done? And I'll just break through whatever the barriers are. Because there's always something, no matter who you are, what you do, there's something, but it depends upon how your perspective is. And I'm a very optimistic person. I'm very much, let's keep it moving. I love learning about things. I read. I'm an avid reader. And so the quest for knowledge and growing is something that's very much a part of who I am.
Okay. So, all right, three things come to mind. I guess you work with Al Bell and
with Affection One Project.
Just the one, and then Dick Griffey, of course.
Shalimar,
That wasn't a good experience.
No, not really. Not on a business end. I mean, it's an experience. I wouldn't change it because it taught me a lot. But, I think every artist starts from somewhere, and it depends upon what you learn and how you, not just learn it, but what you take from it as you move forward, because life is always moving forward.
I understand. So, I mean, you're in Japan. Well, one of the benefits is you haven't had an exclusive license in Japan for your
I've licensed music around the world, actually. Avatone has, from Japan to the United States, London, Germany, Belgium. We've licensed music, Russia, around the world. And so, again, sometimes the misperception with artists is if you don't see them, they're probably not working. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes with many artists, even when you don't see them. That doesn't mean that they're idle. Some are, but, I'm always doing something.
It's a big planet.
Always.
So, talk about the Jody Watley brand, because it's not just music. I mean, you've marketed yourself on many different levels in terms of fashion and all. Is there one thing, a mission statement or idea that carries across all the different platforms?
I am authentic in that when people see me, whether it's what I'm wearing or what songs I'm singing, where I show up to do a concert, is something that I really want to do. Rarely have I succumbed to, oh God, every now and again there's something that you think, well, in hindsight I probably shouldn't have done that. But mostly, when people think of me, I really like for them to think that, she does her own thing,
Keep doing it.
I don't chase and perhaps because I've been successful on various levels, I don't try to repeat anything. It's like when I won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, I never had a yearning to, okay, now I need to win more Grammys. Like for me, I was fulfilled with that, and it's like, well, what's the next thing that I can do that I haven't done before? And that's why sometimes when people who are very stuck in time or something, I don't really relate to it, because I feel that each day is a new beginning for whatever it is, even if it's just having a better day.
That's really good. So, I guess we talk about Candlelight. I mean, is there more that we should know about that song? So it's going to be playing in the background.
Candlelight is, I wrote it with a guy named Aris Koukousilis. He's from Greece, actually. And though it's a soulful song, he's a soulful guy from Greece. And the unique thing is that we met on MySpace. And so again, the digital age, he'd sent me some music, and he did a remix for me on A Beautiful Life, which was from The Makeover. And I've met so many incredible young remixer, producers, songwriters online that, again, there's a whole big world of music out there, and going beyond the usual, I call them the usual suspects of, you know, what you hear all the time. And Aris and I, we wrote Candlelight together, and we've never actually met in person, but we're great collaborators, and we met on MySpace.
Wow. That's amazing. So there's hope for us all.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Raphael Sadiq is someone that I've wanted to collaborate with for a long time, and there were always managers. I could never get a direct connect with him, and we recently connected online, you know, so it's really a great, one of the positive things of the internet is, as an artist and an entrepreneur, you are able to you know, network and meet people in your industry that, you know, it kind of removes the red tape of it, you know, and I think that's really exciting. I just wrote a phenomenal song with a writer, actually, a young guy from Belgium. He's a black guy. He lives in Belgium. He's born in Belgium. Just phenomenal, you know. So it's really, you know, really exciting to bring things together in that way, and very organic. And we communicate back and forth, and so Chameleon really will be chameleon in a lot of ways. You know, Chameleon is change. It's adapting to different environments and time, and that's really always what I've been about. And so that's also why I picked the title, Chameleon.
Awesome. I mean, we're at the 19-minute mark. I just wanted to, if there are things that you want to talk about, I mean, I know you're heavy into the HIV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would just say, you know, outside from music, I continue to work with organizations that spread AIDS and HIV awareness and encourage people to get tested. I just filmed a PSA for the I Know campaign, which is in part coordinated by the Obama administration. And this is something that I've been, you know, a part of in trying to spread awareness, especially within the black community, before it was, you know, quote unquote fashionable or whatever to do it. This is something that I became a part of, that mission, in 1992, at a time when, you know, my record company would say, you can't do that. Like, why? It's not a good thing. People will think, you know, and I'm like, well, whatever they want to think, but it's a message that needs to be spread. And so many years fast forward to today, it's still something that I encourage people to get tested, know your status, and also organizations that promote self-esteem for young girls and women. That's another cause close to my heart. So, you know, aside from the music, you know, I try to align myself with causes like that I believe in. And I just try to be an example by I always encourage people to be who you are, and to believe in yourself. And I think the little things in life, too, are very important for people to hear. Young people, older people, whatever, you can't have enough positivity. And so that's, Jody Watley. And they can find me at jodywatley.net is my website. I Twitter, I'm on Facebook. MySpace, though MySpace not so much anymore, but and I do appreciate my fans and try to directly respond to as many of them as I can. I can't always get everybody, but I try.
That's excellent.
And I have a YouTube channel too.
So that's the final word of advice for any kind of artist that's looking, to come up.
You got to believe it. I say, own it also. Ownership is something that everybody needs to be more conditioned with. And I think now more than ever, we have the opportunity to own what we do, whether it's starting your own television program and putting it on YouTube, to being a kid who's great in art and designing your own T-shirts and start selling them to friends, and who knows where that could lead to. I'm a big proponent of ownership, self-employment, empowerment. Even if you have a regular job, find something that's your passion and do it. And just believe it, because in life, nothing is ever easy. There's always people that will tell you it can't be done. One of my favorite quotes is James Baldwin, and it is, people who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by those who are doing it. And so that's a mantra that I follow in my life.
Let's see. The king would be mad. I just have to read his last question.
Okay.
You can respond.
Okay.
King's a little vain. He said, I quote, "Your collaboration with King Britt was stellar."
It was.
But carried a very important message. Could you elaborate?
Okay. King Britt and I wrote a song called The Essence, and it was on King's That's What Radio Should Sound Like, and also Black to the Future, and also on my Midnight Lounge project. And it really is a song of self-esteem. Love lives in you. Little girls, embrace your difference. Not found in magazines. Shine on with your beauty, but use your mind. I try to do songs that aren't just going to make people dance, but will make them think as well. Even back to Looking for a New Love, which, was a great pop song, but really it was about strength. Baby, I'm strong, gonna get over you. So my song with King Britt is a beautiful progression of work, and I've been a fan of his for many years, and I was really thrilled to be able to collaborate with him, as well as For Hero, which we worked together on the makeover on a song called Bed of Roses. And they're another one of those underground but really quality groups from the UK. And so, again, Jody Watley is very much outside the box. Guys that are doing something special and not just following the mainstream program, that are really trying to do some quality things that make you feel good, but also things that make you think as well. Hi, I'm Jody Watley, and you're watching Real Black.
We're better than just movies about slavery.
Okay.
We can make a movie about slavery as a comedy. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen a movie. Every movie we make, you never see anything about a gay slave. They were around. Just ain't nobody played it. That'd be easy for me to do.
Okay.
And that'd be, all my burlap shorts would be shredded. But they'd be neat.
When the words little and purple are in the same sentence, you can only be talking about one guy, and it's Prince. He said, yeah. He's looking for something to get into tonight, so I told Sheila to tell him to come down and check you out. And I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, Sheila E. relayed the message because he showed up.